All right, take two. Let's try this again. I got a microphone. Make some comments. Can you hear me? If you can't, then I quit. YouTube Live is always so weird, so janky. But I ran home, got my microphone, got my tripod, and I want to play with this crap is what I'm doing. And I figured I'd just set up the camera so that we can have a chat. But I'm using the crappy lens on the front. Can you hear me? Tell me, somebody. Say that you can hear me. I'm standing right in front of the camera. Okay, good. All right, I'm here. So let's bring this a little closer. This is what happens when you're doing things live and you don't have a buddy. Put this up here. Let's do this, leave that here. Bring this a little closer. That way I can see what you're saying. All right, I was just here hanging out. I did edited some video this morning, and then I was working on just some product stuff on the website. Did a workout, took a nap, and then I come over here at 6 o'clock just to kind of piddle with some crap. But I got banners, something in an I&D box here. I want to put the top box. I got the top box for this, and what I may do, we'll see how much time I have here, but I may unbox the Sonic tool cart. I don't even know which one I got, so we'll see. I wish I could see this a little bit closer. Say that comment again. Let's see. You can't see them, like they disappear. Bring the camera down a little further. Chop my head off. Yeah, I could probably bring it even a little bit closer. Okay, got it. Yeah, we'll leave it right here. Turn it like this. Camera down. This is what happens when you go live. Now my head's cut off. God dang it. All right, there we go. Okay, so these are my banners. I've never had a banner before. I'm not really a banner guy, and I know lots of people like banners, so I'm gonna back this up a little bit. And so I am gonna listen to the people. And so what these banners are gonna be for is for the M5 giveaway. I did it in blue and black. And so I wanna see what they look like, see if we need to make any changes. Even though ordering samples always costs me a lot of money. I think it's better to order it than not. Okay, let's see. These can be a little big to show you. Oh yeah. That's cool. Let me just print. So we're doing 2 feet by 5 feet and 3 feet by 8 feet. Just the plan. So here's the black one. So that's 2 by 5. I think I'd like it. I'd like it better if these had. I wonder if we can do these in black. Little eye holes. And then I got to figure out what pricing is, because I think just to print these things are like, you know, I talked to Bmw Z. He has his printed in China, so I think they sell them for like 30 bucks or something like that. But I think these are going to cost me a lot more than that. Or they like, I think it's like $250 a square foot, so they're going to cost me like 25 bucks or something. And so they're going to have to be at least 50. So that's black. And then blue. I think this is a good color blue. Like that. And then if if you guys buy these things, if these things become popular, we'll do like 50 different versions. I'll do a bunch of different versions, and then these are the bigger ones. This is the 8-footer. That one's obviously way bigger. Anyway, kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. I don't know, I'm gonna have to talk to him about, I would like it to be a little less fuzzy. It's gonna have to be fixed. It's not as clean as I'd like it to be. Anyway, start messing with some other stuff. So the main reason why I put this here is because I'm gonna put top box on. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. So this is a S9 box, and the S9 box has a top box option. Gosh, I wish I could see the darn comments. Maybe I'll set my laptop up so I can see what the heck you guys are talking about. So do that. This is why I never do live, because there's so much more dead space than my darn videos have. Let's go here. Let's go YouTube. Watch this. Mute. And let's go comments. Okay. Now I can see. I thought about doing smaller giveaways. Yeah, you know, I really don't like doing giveaways all that much. So to do a small one, I don't know. Just doesn't really seem like my bag. So anyway, so these top pieces here, I think these little things come out. I cheated and I already started kind of figuring out how this works. So another thing I figured out, so Sonic sells like a top protector. I don't really like it. It's just a piece of regular rubber. It's not very good. I prefer this better. So now I'm going to try to hoist this in place. Let me lock the wheels before I kill myself. Lock that. This thing's super heavy. So there's little feet that I put somewhere. I don't know where. There they are. All right, sorry. Let's get focused here. So these little feety things that go here. And then this is where the box will sit. So I don't think it actually connects or touches the plastic. So I might be able to leave this rubber piece here, that's what we're gonna find out. The only problem is this thing weighs about 150 pounds, and I gotta lift it up by myself. So let's see if I can do this without damaging it. That's not bad. Yeah, that's sick. Unlock the wheels. Back this thing up a little bit. So, what the plan is here today, the reason why I came over here is I want to take and figure out what tools, what tool grid stuff to put in here. All right, so the goal what I want to do is show people how to build a tool grid set for the Sonic toolbox and Sonic drawers. And so since these aren't very high, you know, the question is, how do I put things like channel locks in it? You know, because the way that all the, like this is probably, some of these will fit. Like that's gonna be too tall to stand up. So I'm not gonna be able to stand up the tool in the drawer. And so it's gonna have to lay down flat. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna buy a whole set of Craftsman. Like I'm gonna buy like a Craftsman set, a Tecton set. I'm gonna buy like a bunch of random like channel locks and other tools that I'm gonna use to like create a box with tool grid. You know, because most people aren't gonna buy the Sonic stuff, and I understand how expensive, you know, how costly it is for you know, for you to do Sonic foam inlays. The question is, how can I lay out a box like this? I like this color better than the darn regular gray. I'll tell you what, it's freaking awesome. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna buy a bunch of stuff for these, the S9 and the S12, and then I'm gonna make a video series of me figuring out how to fit it in here and how to, you know, design a set of tools around, like, you know, getting a regular random set of tools rather than just buying the very specific Sonic stuff that fits in the drawer. But I like these boxes a lot. I mean, I've never been a fan of any of the Chinese-made American stuff, or American engineered Chinese-made, like all the Snap-on stuff is just not my style, man. It's just, I like this kind of European fit and finish better. I don't know, but that's just me. These are European engineered, Chinese made. I don't know. I think these boxes, it doesn't say, these may be made in Amsterdam, I'm not sure, but the MSS Plus cabinets are made, the real expensive ones are actually made in Taiwan. All right, let's unbox, let's do the trunk. I want to unbox the trunk. This might take a while, so you gotta be prepared for that. This right here. So this is my E92 trunk, painted by IND. And the deal here is that I bought a new trunk and had them paint match it by sending them the door. So I sent the door to my gas cap, my gas cap door, whatever you call that thing. Now they painted me a brand new OE trunk. I'll take the old one off and put the new one on, but I wanted to see what it looks like. As always with IND, it's always packed. Puts our packing to shame. So I just ordered a Revo IR lamp so that I can get all the water spots off. So let's do this. Let me take the trunk out. No sharp objects. Set this here. What we'll do is just flip this box over and we'll use this box. Unbox it. So the Revo IR lamp will allow me to address the rest of the water spots, which will be a project I'm going to be tackling here as soon as that thing arrives. I'm ready for my M3 to be dialed in. I got all this fancy stuff. I don't have any scissors in here. right. So I think I think the trunk was like 800 bucks or something like that, just to get a new trunk. Rather than, what I didn't want to do is take my M3 to a body shop and have it sit there for 3 weeks while they did this. I'm also contemplating on, longer term, I'll just have my car sent to IND and have them just paint the darn thing, paint the whole car. So once I get the water spots, what I think I'm going to do, I was thinking about this the other day, the problem is if I get the water spots out and then I coat the darn thing, what happens if they come back? And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wax it. So I'm going to paint correct it, decon it. I'm going to do colonite, power lock colonite, and then when it, give it a little bit of time, and then, maybe in a couple of months, then decon it again, just strip all the wax off, and then coat it. I told you this was going to take a while. I should have pre-unboxed this. I need a manager to come manage this for me. Shipping back on this too. So drug the Corvette over here. I've been driving it around a bit more, put some miles on it, get a little bit better assessment of it. But I'm, unless somebody ponies up a large sum of money for it, I'm just going to wait and do a giveaway of the Corvette as well. I wish I didn't have the Corvette because there was a 997.1 GT3 for sale on the OG group. I was like, oh man, I could do a pretty sick giveaway with a .1 GT3. Yeah, Ryan, I am recording this, so we'll just make it a video on the channel. Jeez. So if you can't hang out live, you can always watch it later. Although I don't know how good it's going to be. So anyway, I think it was a couple grand to do this new trunk because I did a new, you'll see, I did a new lip spoiler, and then we'll be putting the black IND emblems on as well. That was layer number 1 and 2. Now we got layers number 3 and 4. And so anybody that buys from IND like I do, and you pay top dollar for it, it's like this is like the Bmw tuner that I've kind of modeled Obsessed Garage after. I've modeled Obsessed Garage after Road Fitness and IND. Those are the two sites that I bought tons of stuff from and really enjoy their style, enjoy their commitment to sticking with making the choice to go with higher quality and curate things. Now Rogue is a little different because they actually manufacture things rather than just operating solely on price. Because when you operate on price, then you have to sacrifice on everything else. So if, like, I don't know how much I paid to ship this to me, but it was probably 400 bucks or something in shipping costs, because they've got to pay for all this packaging, all this material. They've got to pay someone to do all this. But to do all this means that it's going to get here intact in one piece. So I, for one, am glad companies like this exist, because then I can buy something like this from them when I need it. And I understand, I didn't even question the price. You know, what does it cost? Well, you know, what would something like this cost? They're gonna give me a fair cost to be able to do all of this stuff, paint it properly, get it to me, and then, you know, and the funny thing is that, you know, you go on forums, you see people bashing companies like IND about, oh, I was gonna buy it from them, but the shipping was too much. I said, well, buy some on Amazon, it's not gonna be packed like this. I promise you that. But there are, you know, companies for everybody. This is one for me. Okay. Oh, gee whiz. I'm trying to use the scissors. I should have gone and got some real scissors. I'm going to use the scissors so that way I don't accidentally hit it with a blade. And so what I'll do is I'll just transplant all the stuff from the M3. I'm going to transplant all of the all the trunk parts and pieces. So again, this is a brand new OE BMW trunk. Yes, $400 likely. I think is what I paid to ship this. It had to come on a darn pallet. I think it might have been even a little bit more than that. Like a minimum pallet charge, if you're not high volume, is like 330 bucks or something like that to ship a pallet with a proper freight company. Again, this didn't come UPS. It's too big. Okay, so we'll transplant all the carpet and all of that. Fold. Yeah, that's going to match perfectly. I can already tell. Nice. Yes. Legit. Oh, the black badge looks freaking awesome. Let's check out. So look at this. This is insane. That's just a pile of stuff from one packaging. Yeah. Oh man, it looks so good. Let's check it out. So, you know what, the reason why I sent my gas cap doors is we don't want to match the peel and everything. And so this has what they call, I think they call it the CRT stripe. Turn it around. Oh man, and I have a black emblem. So look how good that looks. And they, see, all they do is they take an emblem and they paint it black, which is something you wouldn't think was a big deal until you see it in person. It just looks freaking awesome. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's the stripes. So the Le Mans blue is painted on the edge here. And then they did this with 3M tape. One of the other reasons why I decided to just get a new trunk was because this lip was glued on. You know, they used Beta Link instead, so I wasn't going to be able to remove it. Oh man, it's so good. So if we did repaint the whole car, I would have them, you know, we would repaint this too again, likely, so the whole car matched. But I think they said it would be like 8,000 or 9,000 to do the whole car. I thought it would be like 20. But if I keep the M3, which is looking like I'm going to, assuming the economy doesn't completely melt down and I don't have to go bankrupt, if I keep the M3, then I will very likely repaint the whole thing and just have it perfect factory fresh match Le Mans blue amazingness. But yeah, look how good that looks. I'm pumped. Heck yeah. It's freaking awesome. All right, let's unbox the little box here. See what's inside. Out of the way. It's not my normal way of unboxing where I have crap everywhere. I normally do this in a much more organized fashion. Slide this in here. Okay. Let's open this up. This has always been my dream, right? To have, I'm not gonna keep these toolboxes. I didn't even buy them for me. But I get to do the fun part, which is to buy it, try it, experience it, and then somebody buys it from me. It's freaking awesome. Let's see, what are you guys saying? All right. This should be my trunk or my gas cap door. Everybody always asks me, so this is the Chris Reeve Sabenza. It's the large one with carbon fiber handle. What are you people saying? Make sure you can hear me. All right, what size of the tool grid you put in the bottom of the shelf of the top box? I'm not sure about the size of the tool grid. I've got to measure and then cut to figure out which board makes the most sense. That's the main reason why I wanted to do this, so I can figure out what's the best combination of things. Yeah, Jeff, that darn wrapping is insane. I don't know how long that took, but it seemed like a long time. I don't know, I guess I could sell pocket knives. It's just not really a passion of mine. I don't really like to sell stuff that I'm not super into. But, I mean, I do like a good knife. It makes it a better unboxing experience. Spencer, yeah, I&D box is awesome. What size tool grid you put in the bottom shelf? You should keep some of them, they're cool. Let's see. That Mike Hawk guy is always picking fights with everybody. Should probably just block him from the channel. He annoys the crap out of me, so I know he's annoying everybody else. Stop doing that. Okay, cool. Let's keep unboxing. So Mike, just be better than that, man. Stop telling me what to do. I know you're excited, but my gosh. If I hear another, staying open, money over health. Like, come on. I mean, there's a balance here. Can't. It's like you won't have health if you don't have any money to like eat. So, and this whole nonsense about all you do is just go to the government and get a loan. How are you going to get that money? Like, how am I going to get it? So they're talking about payroll loans and payroll forgiveness and all of this stuff. Well, that's great, but how am I going to get it? who's going to give it to me? There's no one to give it to you. It's going to be months and months before they ever catch up to being able to give anybody a loan. So, the stimulus is great, and they're going to send out checks to individuals, but how am I going to get that? You got to apply for it, but, I called the other day because I'd love to get an SBA loan just as a, a line of credit for myself at an extremely low interest rate for a really long time. SBA loan, I called because I haven't gotten any info back from them, there were like 640 or 6,470 people on hold. What's it called, board? Yeah, so I don't know what people want from me, but I'm trying to keep the darn doors open here. I'm trying to make as smart of a decision as possible. I probably still need to order the front. I don't know if I made it clear. I wanted the front and rear black emblems. So anyway, we'll get those later. Let's build. I'm kind of excited to build the Sonic. That's probably going to take too long. I was going to say I should build the Sonic rolling cart. But that's probably going to take forever. It's probably in a bunch of pieces, so maybe I'll just wrap this up here and call it a day. But those are a couple of interesting things I thought you guys would be interested in. So this will be the box that I'm thinking about outfitting, buying a whole thing of Tecton tools, and then if I do Tecton and Tool Grid, and I outfit this whole thing specifically. And I've talked to Tecton about maybe being maybe being a dealer for them, or selling their stuff. I have to get my hands on it. Bryce really likes it, so I'm trusting his judgment there. As a line of tools that would be a bit more affordable and a bit more reasonable to offer to people. Something that would be kind of interesting. So doing this setup, figuring out exactly what tool grid needs to go in the drawers, and then being able to provide people with an idea of what's a full organization solution. Also, I want to figure out how much tool grid you need to buy if you were going to build like a toolbox, to give people a little bit better frame of reference on what they need to get. Would be something that I think would be interesting. It's interesting to me, and then if I'm going to sell tool grid, I need to be able to provide you, I want to be a resource, not just a retailer. Oh, this is something that is really, really cool. I wanted to talk to you about. So these are just a couple of the bottles that I just grabbed. The press-all bottles, I was giving up hope. I don't know why I was giving up hope, because I was telling myself this was going to take years. And so the last round of press-all bottles, they fixed the tip on the chemical resistant sprayers, which would be the black ones and the red ones. So the black and red have a different internal structure than the yellow, the translucent, and the blue, right? And so the heads, the internal components on these, the garden sprayer and the blue and translucent ones I think they're identical. They're the same structure. All of them have the same action and feel the same, but the internal components are a little different because one's chemical resistant, one's not. So the black and red ones, I wasn't having as big of an issue with it leaking from the piston here as I was on these two. And then all of them were having an issue where the tip or the nozzle here was just not right. You had to torque it all the way down in order for it to atomize. The atomization wasn't great, and the tips were snapping off, and so people were having tips fail. And so they made new tips for us, but then they sent me a whole batch of like 3 or 4 pallets worth of these sprayers that didn't work, because everyone right out of the box was leaking right out the piston here. I'm like, this is insane. So I told them, either I'm out or you need to fix this, because it's something they weren't listening. It's just that I just never expected the bottles to not freaking work. I wanted to improve them, but once we got them out in the wild, things are failing like crazy. So now I think now we need to get these out. I'm gonna make a video this week and we'll have these up in the store. So I have all the bottles and they sent me all new heads, right? So all new, let's make sure. Oh, thanks, Amir, that's awesome. So the all new spray heads are now, I have them. So I just have to go figure out how many bottles I have, how many sprayers I have. I don't have enough to sell just the sprayer heads alone, but I will be getting them. And so the next round, if these hold up like I think they do, then the next round is gonna be freaking awesome. Then I can really start getting excited, because then we can start putting my chemicals, start adding them to our car washing and wheel cleaning packages and stuff like that. But the atomization is better. I don't have to torque this all the way down. Again, they're double pull just like normal. This is just water. And then I have some options now, whereas before it was either a little bit of, like, about this much, a little bit of atomization, or shoot across the room. Right? This is literally shooting like 15 feet across the room. So now we have some adjustment where I can go full atomization or a little less, and I don't have to torque it down, and they made it so there's a gap, so there's distance. And notice I don't have any leaking or anything like that. I've been using this all week, just messing around with it. This is O&R pre-soak. It's doing well. So I think we're okay. Yeah, no water, no liquid, no anything here on the handle, which you would think would be a prerequisite, right? I get that. I thought it was a prerequisite. They're kind of funky looking, but they're legit. You know, they're solid. They feel much better in your hand than like a Quasar. I've just never liked the Quasar bottles. I wanted to like them. I've spent hundreds of dollars on them over the years. A lot of them I bought before videos, before I was even on YouTube. So maybe they're a lot better now, but I've tried a bunch over the years, the 360s, and this is why I'm chasing these. And then from here, we'll ask for different colors, and I want to be able to do, dilution ratios and fill lines and all kinds of stuff. So that's the plan in the future, is to be able to provide these bottles in various packages with my own products. In some cases, like the tire dressing that we're coming out with. I don't have any intention to do any private label product unless I have to, unless there's just something that's amazing, that's better than anything else, which is very unlikely. Some of these companies have been chasing. It'd be like me trying to make a new O&R. It'd be ridiculous. So anyway, I'm excited about the bottle. Stay tuned. I'll have a video coming up here this week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, and we'll get it up in the store. And then I'm sure you guys will buy me out like that. And I got to get another order going. It's like a 2.5 month lead time, 3 month lead time to get them to produce it and then bring it to me. All right. And then from there, what I'm going to want them to do is take whatever they did to this and do the same thing with the new tips. And not just new tips, but the new tips and the full spray head. So again, the garden sprayer and the blue one, we have brand new assemblies. I want a whole brand new assembly for the chemical resistant ones, because I like the black bottles the best. And I like the tubes, because the black bottles are 180 sprayers. These are just straight. They just have a regular tube, a regular plastic tube with a filter on the end of it. So the chemical resistance one have like a weighted tube that, the stainless steel weighted tube that works, 180. So anyway, we're getting there. And then from there, I want to create labels for these, which is going to be difficult to do, but we'll create some really neat labels, doing like generic titling. So you can use whatever you use. You don't just have to use what I use, but you can do, tire dressing, wheel cleaner, and have some, either some OG logos on it, but subtle. So that way, the whole goal of doing this is I want a good spray bottle, but I ultimately want to have, all the bottles on my shelves all lined up with the same style, all with labels that are pointed out so I can read it on the shelf, and then, have it so that it's generic enough that if I can use whatever wheel cleaner I want, and it's just wheel cleaner, and you'll know what's in it. And then I want to be able to provide these in the packages with a label and everything on it. So let me check your comments here, see if I need to answer anything. If you got any questions, just shoot, and I'll try to answer it. Okay, how's the rear roll bar in the Corvette? I think he's talking about the sway bar. There's something else, there's a little clunk. I think it's not actually the suspension. I think it might be the tow hook in the back, like smacking off of the inside. So I think the Corvette's all right. Brett says, look forward to the new sprayers. Make a tire package with new sprayer, new tire dressing, microfiber towel, and a bunch and a brush for the giveaway. I don't think I'm gonna do the tire dressing for the giveaway. I don't know if I'll have it ready to go for that. I mean, the giveaway is in 2 weeks, is when it starts. So I don't think I'll have it ready to go yet. The home network, the Ubiquity network is super dialed. Bryce has me. We're getting about 550 megabits per second on gig speed. I've got to test to see what I'm actually getting. I'm probably only getting like 600 from Comcast, and so Bryce has it all really dialed, so it's working great now. I'm going to get some cameras for the wash bay, get that all set up so that it looks much better. Let me bring the camera in so maybe your audio will be a little better here since we're going to answer some questions. Yeah, that'll be better. All right. Can you do monthly subscription boxes? I don't think so, man. I don't know. I don't like subscription stuff. I like to control my own destiny. I don't like mystery boxes and things like that. So, you know, maybe I should pander a little bit more to what people want. But I just stick with what my gut says. I stick with what I like, and then, you know, by proxy, hopefully other people will like it too. Ubiquity UDM Pro. Yeah, Brad, that's what I got. The Ubiquity Dream Machine Pro is what we put in. So that's what we put in for the house. Let's see. Man, have you seen any good memes lately? And I'm not much of a meme guy. Loving your bottle for PNS cleaner and SwissVax brush. Yeah, the Dynaudio monitors are freaking awesome. Oh man, I was kind of kicking myself because they're kind of a little small here. You know, we'll bring up in the corner there. But man, they're so good. They're so smooth. I just love soap dome tweeters. In fact, I was in my home theater watching Ford versus Ferrari, and I have all Revel Performa 3s and crazy acoustic treatments in there. And then each is bi-amp. The front stage is bi-amplified. And so it has, I think, an aluminum dome or maybe titanium dome tweeter, which I tend to prefer silk. It makes me want to swap it all out for a whole Dynaudio contour system, but I don't have that kind of cash. So anyway, let's see. Is it possible to build a Prevost setup for my mobile water tank? Yeah, I mean, you probably could. You know, Prevost, remember, isn't designed for water. It's designed for air. And so we're using it for water and hoping that it works out. One thing we've learned is that you can't really do hot water with Prevost because the seals are just rubber seals. They're not, I think they're nitro rubber, they're not EPDM. And nitro rubber tends to not do very well with heat. And so we would need EPDM or some sort of Viton seal or something like that. So it's really only designed for air. Microfiber 3.0, I don't know, I gotta get working on that, maybe this summer. Raptor, probably, so Raptor videos, JR was asking, when are we getting Raptor videos? I think we'd probably do those probably a few months out. I'd like to get the M3 done, the GT3 done from a detailing perspective. I am gonna be doing a Raptor vid here probably in the next week or two. I got a set of wheels and tires over there. So I'll probably do a video on that. I'll also do a video on the steps. The steps need to be taken apart and greased and because they get hung up. So some Raptor stuff, it certainly needs good quality correction. Let's see. The desk is done and just waiting on the countertops. I paid for them. I'm not sure what the lead time is, but I'm sure Mark is probably treating it as his own little special project. So I think he's probably working on it now. I would expect it in a week or two, maybe 3 weeks from now. I'm not sure how long it takes him to build, but it's going to be really sick. I'm excited for that, to have a desk set up and then see what the countertops look like on the Sonic. All right, so Ricky, thanks for the super chat. Definitely looking forward to getting the new iteration of the bottles and trying the new tire dressing. Loving all the t-shirts and polos I got last week. Thanks, man. Yeah, I still have, this is the, I hate this design, but this purple shirt's not really great for chubby guys. I'm working on that. I'm telling you, I'm working on that. I played beach volleyball yesterday. I almost had a heart attack, so it's time for me to get moving. I know I've been saying that for 5 years, but I really do need to. But this is a super soft. This is a shirt I wear like if I'm going to take a nap or something. It's freaking awesome. But we do have a bunch of shirts left for $10. Get them out of here so I can clean it out and go make some new stuff that's more consistent. Let's see. There was another super chat I saw here. Hey Matt, our e-commerce store up here in Canada is seeing an enormous increase in business due to the retailers shut down. Just wondering if you guys are experiencing the same. No, I've been flat, which is good. You know, flat to maybe down, 10 or 15%, which is really great. You know, the risk is the economic fallout here is that if people start losing their jobs in droves, then that could be really problematic for e-com. Luckily, I think most of you guys that watch my stuff have more disposable income than the vast majority of the general population, and most of you are obsessed and extremely employable. So if you did lose a position, you'll probably land on your feet really quickly. But let's see, where are we at today? We averaged 30,000, 20 something thousand to 30,000 bucks a day. We would have had $1 million a month this month. We're at 14,675 today. We did 27,600 yesterday. This month we're at 740,000. We were on pace to do about $1 million, but then when this all happened, we kind of dropped off a little bit. But thanks to all you guys for really making this amazing. I mean, there's a $40,000 day, $54,000 day. These. $38,000 a day. This happens all the time, and so this month will probably be, I don't know. We'll see what the giveaway does. I'm thinking about having some sort of April sale, I was thinking about having that no matter what. Another guy that I follow a lot is Nick Bear. Who sells supplements, and he does 2 sales a year, one in July and one on Black Friday. And I thought, maybe that'd be something that'd be interesting to do. I just don't know if we can. What my fear is that somebody gets sick, and then we have to shut the place down, and then we can't deliver on $1 million or $1.5 million in sales. Would scare the crap out of me. Let's see. Would you say the MGW short shifter is a must for the C7? No, definitely not a must. In fact, you have to really like a hefty mechanical feel. It's extremely short and mechanical. I love it, but I could very well see like first and third are so close together. It gets a little notchy at times. So I wouldn't say it's a must, because I don't think, that's definitely not one of the shortcomings of the C7. I think the shift linkage and the shift mechanism or whatever, I don't know if it has a shift linkage, whatever, the shifting feel is great. So it's a cool thing to get. It's pretty cheap. What is it, $390 or something like that? It's easy to install. So I think I would certainly give it a whirl to see if you like it, but it's not the end all be all. Michael asked, do you like Adam's E46? I think it looks pretty nasty, but it'll be a drift janky car, I'm sure, when it's all said and done. Kate asked, are you still thinking about getting a Ferrari? A Ferrari for me would be like 2 years from now if the business continues to grow, and I'm looking to continue to engage a greater audience. So a Ferrari for me would be a bit contrived, meaning I would buy it for the business and the experience of it, rather than buying it because I absolutely want one or have always wanted one. I'd rather have a 997.2 GT3 RS to have that in the collection, rather than having a 458 or a 488 or something like that, a Pista or a Speciale or something like that. But I will probably get a Ferrari someday, God willing. But it's such a different ballpark, man. You're going from 150 to $200,000 cars to 400, 350 to 500. That's just a whole nother ball game that I'm not there I'd love to be there, but not there. NSX build, again, the NSX, I've kind of slowed on that a little bit because I don't want to do another major build of a car like, because what I was planning on doing was getting in a Civic Si, 99 Si, building that, doing a giveaway on that. That giveaway would fund the NSX purchase as well as the building of the Civic. But until I find a Civic, I'm hoping it'll be a year and a half or 2 years from now. A little bit of time out where I have some time to rest from this darn M5 and Corvette disaster that I got myself into. Let's see, any decision on the GT4? It's still on as of now, unless sales dry up, unless the giveaways really flop. I'm getting a 17 GT4. I've been holding off on making the video. I don't want to make the announcement and then have to make another announcement that I don't have enough money to buy it. So I don't want to have that conversation if I can help it. For someone starting out, Nick Prince asks, for someone starting out detailing cars, what would you recommend? Shoot, man, I'm probably not the best person to ask that. Someone better to ask would be Luke Wilson, Apex Detail, somebody that actually does it, has done it. I know about business, but on a much bigger scale than starting from scratch. I did start a wealth management practice from scratch. It was so many years ago, and I did it via cold calling. And so I think you'd have to figure out some way to get in front of as many people as possible to tell them about what you're passionate about. I would also try to figure out a way to charge what quality products cost. So I would want to use what I enjoy using and not just have to go and use like some local blender or use some professional cheap stuff. I would want to use all the same stuff that I use now. And so I'd have to figure out how I'm going to market that and how I'm going to pass that cost off to the customer and show them the value of that, rather than having to just be try to save pennies. And so Luke would show you how to save money. But I would want to do it with that and ask the clients to pay for that. But again, I'm a 40-year-old business dude, so if I was going to start a detailing business, it's a little different than if you're just starting from scratch. If you're a younger guy or you're leaving a career behind, you don't have a lot of funds to start up. Another guy would be good, Kevin Plunkett, is a follower. He's sort of made money in life and had businesses, and I think they sold the family business, and so now he's doing it as a passion project, but he has money to build the facility and buy the products that he needs to do the installs to enjoy it. So there are people that have done it where they finish their career and then they did well in life and they enjoy detailing enough to where I would want to try to find someone like that to mentor me if I were you, that has actually done it. And I can give you all kinds of conjecture and make up a bunch of stuff of how I would do it if I were going to, but that probably wouldn't apply to you as much as something like that would. Oh, Youth Man, yeah. Youth Man is one of my favorite YouTube channels on home theater. He's in here. I think I've got them all fired up about telling them to build a home theater retail business rather than just doing goofy brand deals and stuff like that. I have a real interest in doing this Obsessed Garage thing to Obsessed Home Theater. I own the URL. I should probably create the LLC as well. But I would love to make a home theater business. I can't now because I work 15 hours a day jerking around with this stuff. So maybe someday. Are you doing another detailing package giveaway with the Corvette M5? I don't think so, Kate. I don't think I'm going to do another a detailing with that. But if somebody wins that comes to get the car, you better believe I'll freaking load up his car. The M5 has a lot more room than the 1M. I'll load it up with one of everything. You can come here and get it from me, whoever wins it. Let's go back to the bottom here. Are you considering SharkWorks gearing in the GT4? No, definitely not. I don't know what everybody's freaking talking about in a GT4 gearing. I love it. I think the gearing's perfect. Then again, I've only been in one 3 times, but I don't get what everybody's complaining about. So I may change my opinion when I have it, but I don't know. I haven't had a problem with it. Matt, what is your percentage sales to the Canadian market? It was a lot higher when the Canadian dollar was strong. It's maybe 2%. I could absolutely slay if I built Obsessed Garage Canada. I could kill. I know I could. Maybe someday. Again, I have to. I can't even keep up with this place. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should call up Pan, and Pan and I should partner together and build Obsessed Garage Canada. I don't know. So, let's see. What other questions do we have? Let me go back up here a little bit. Can you do a YouTube collaboration with Mike Streetspeed? Yeah. I met Mike a couple of times. I'm good friends with Troy and a lot of the 717 crew. So I've met and talked to and exchanged with Dirty Max Jack, who's up in that area. I don't think they're part of the same crew anymore. I think Nick and Jack went off and did their thing, and then Mike and Troy and the other guys, Shane, good friends with Shane in Shane Designs. Again, I've only met Mike once, but yeah, I'd like to do some stuff with Mike in the future. I like Mike a lot. I know some of you get bent out of shape about clickbait and all of that, but I like how Mike is upfront and very candid about why he does that. I would probably be better served if I listened to that a little bit. I'd probably have a bigger, broader audience that I would then scare away by making big, long videos like this talking about things that people aren't excited about like I am. OG Edition Sonic Toolbox, yeah, Matthew in South Carolina, I'm assuming that means yes. We'll be doing a lot of continued stuff with Sonic. I'm absolutely in love with this stuff. I'm not just shilling this, like I want this. I bought these toolboxes so I can take pictures of them, but I want them. It's gonna be hard to pry these out of my hands. I freaking love it, man. I don't know what else to say. Let's see, LYS 1395 says, would you ever consider an 812 Superfast as a replacement for the Corvette? I mean, you're talking about $1 million car. So I don't know how much money you think I have, but just do the math. I'm selling, you know, a $900,000, $700,000 to $900,000 a month at say 35%, and then I got a lot of people to pay the salary. So do the math on that. I don't know how much money you think I got, and it's not bad, but not 812 Superfast money. Let's see. Were you considering a P&S gallon combo giveaway? Need to restock. I don't know what I'm going to do with the product. We need to nail that down Monday and Tuesday, what we're going to do product-wise. Let's see. Have you ever heard of Auto Finesse products? If so, what's your opinion? Yeah, I like Auto Finesse stuff. I'd gotten a bunch of it probably 2012, 13. Like some of it, kept some of it in my process, and they just kind of worked their way out. I actually have a bottle of over in the podcast studio, or a tub of Auto Finesse Desire wax. Any updates on the OG Smoky strip? I mean, I'd love to go. Hopefully, I don't see why it wouldn't happen, but who knows? The world falls apart. I wish I could order more from you, Matt. I have a Mossmatic N1, but the shipping costs and import fees kill me. Yeah, I get that, man. It's expensive. Would the April sale cover everything in the store? Yeah, it would cover everything except for Rupa's polishers. I think there's anything else that we would have to avoid. Let's see, what else do we got here? How do I identify a make and model of a car? I'm not sure about that. What do you recommend for wheel ceramic coatings now? I'm off of any kind of temperature, whatever, optimized wheel coating, and I'm just using the darn coating that I use on the paint on the wheels. Just works better for me. I don't like any of them. G on rim. I've used C5 from G-Technic. I used to use, back in the day, I used Optimum Gloss Coat, and or OptiCoat 2.0 was always my go-to wheel thing, and that was great. And so I've gone back to just doing CSL, XO on the wheels. I'm looking at the M5 over here, and sticking with that. It tends to work better. Let's see, chubby shirts for the win. I'm not always going to be chubby, so someday it's going to click. I'm going to find something that I love, and I'm not going to be a fat slob anymore. All right, I love the shirts. Any chance we can get some sweet cooling shirts? There's all kinds of shirts I want to come out with. Are those the final versions of the banners? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I need to think about it a little bit. Let's see, what else do we got? Wasn't there another super chat up here? That's the easiest way to get my attention. That was just Amir just sending me some money. I appreciate that. Let's see. Are the new press-off sprayers only for the translucent blue, yellow bottles, or the red and black version? So the red and black didn't have all the same problems. The red and black got new tips, as I explained, but I would like to get the entire new trigger mechanism as well in those for our next batch. So I think we ought to be able to pull that off. Let's see, what else do you guys want to talk about? Keep it going, enjoying, and wait for a new video each day. Thanks, Tony. Zebra Cakes has entered the chat. What happened to the garage giveaway build? It's still technically on schedule. We need to wait for Emmanuel's house to get finished. So the build should be July. And once he gets here on the mainland, he lives in Hawaii now, moving to Virginia. So as soon as he gets here, I'm gonna fly him down here. We'll design the garage, get stuff on order, make sure we know what we're gonna do. It's a little touch and go on building and houses and all of that stuff, so that I don't know if it'll be delayed or not. But we're still targeting, July, maybe August is the plan. Let's see, talk about the new tire shine. I think the first thing I need to do is not call it shine, because we don't want shine. So I told the story. My friend Scott sent me this bottle right here with like this much stuff in it, because he didn't want to waste it, because he knew that I might just punt it in the trash. So he sent me this bottle with a little note saying, he listens to me, and he said, hey, when you get a chance, I think you might like this, try it. So I didn't try it. I was going to punt it in the trash. And Bryce put it on the one tire of the M3. And he says, I tried that new tire, that tire dressing. I think you might want to try it out. I looked at the tire, I'm like, this is freaking great. Pearl is good. There's some drawbacks to Pearl. Sometimes Pearl just doesn't seem to work on certain tires. If they tend to leach or whatever the heck happens when the rubber dries out. You really have to prep properly, and so it's not really idiot-proof. But I love Pearl. Pearl is fantastic. I had no intention of going and looking for something different. And so I called him a couple of days later. I was putting it on the M5 tires. I'm like, the application is great. Man, this comes out really nicely. So you put the tire dressing on, I'd let it sit for like, whatever time you can let it sit, 15, 20 minutes it seems like. So it doesn't kind of dry up. You walk around, wipe it flat, and it just looks super, super black. So we found out that that it actually has, and I'm not going to publish this or pitch this or anything, but it has silica. So it has silicon dioxide in this version of it. And for whatever reason, the silicon dioxide actually darkens it up. So it darkens the application a little bit. Doesn't really add any longevity or anything, just like any other bulk wrap, spray sealant. But for whatever reason, they threw some silica in there to see what happened, and the blender, and so this was like a house product, like a house favorite for the blender. It's one of the big blenders, B&B. I'll just freaking tell you, it's B&B blending, but no one's ever really cared about it. And Scott called looking for a certain thing, because the vast majority of people don't want what we want, which is a flat, solid black looking tire dressing. And so we have a 330-gallon tote on the way to HQ. We have to figure out how to put it in a bottle. I could have B&B bottle it for me, but it's going to be more cost effective, and I'm going to kind of control how fast it goes out, so that way, I want to make sure we get some out in the wild and we get some feedback. I've used it for like a month. I haven't used it for my whole life. And so it's better than anything else I've ever tried or seen on the market. And so it's one of those things that I think needs to exist. And so I told Scott, I said, let's do this 50-50. What I'm going to do is you set up an LLC and you send me an invoice, and I'll buy it from you. And so what we'll eventually do, once we figure out what the profitability is of it, then we'll we'll just split the whatever the profit is. Very similar, like P&S makes bead maker for X amount of money. They sell it to me for Y, which is X plus X, and then I sell it for Z, which is Y plus Y. And then, I make my spread, I make my Y, and they make their X, and that's how we do it. And so we're going to set up that same structure with Scott. That way, we don't have to provide any accounting, or he doesn't have to trust me on that. Not that I'm not trustworthy, but why go there? So the dressing will last about the same as Pearl, maybe a little more, a little less. So it's not going to last any longer, but it looks flat. It looks uniform and dark. It's freaking awesome. So, and it smells incredible. So, that's coming. That's the answer to that. Price-wise, you think it'll be similar to Pearl? I think so. I got to figure out what it costs us to get it in, because I want to put it in a nice bottle with a nice label and a nice cap and a nice sprayer. And the goal would be to get it in a press-all bottle in the future here, a black press-all bottle. I think it's probably going to be pretty expensive, like $90 a gallon or something like that. So do whatever math that is, maybe $50 for a 32 ounce, but similar in price to Pearl. It's going to be rather expensive, because I'm not going to freaking waste my time to do it for $10. So if we're going to do it, I'm going to make it a reasonable price, and with good margins, but not insane margins. Margins that I can work with to make it worthwhile to pay somebody to stand here and put it in a bottle, and to be able to put it in a quality bottle. And then as we buy more and more, it'll become less and less costly. Let's see. Dan asked him at coating choice or plastic trim. I just put the CSL on it. I think it looks fantastic. Yeah, Ryan, that's a good point. Cost as much as it costs. I think you guys have gotten to know, I know a lot of people don't believe me on this, but I just charge what things need to be charged. I need to charge what they're supposed to be. Let me show you this thing. So, OG follower saw a need for this. I said I'd want it. He made this for me. The other screws are sitting over there, but this is a plate for the Cox hose reels, so that way you can mount it to the wall. I wanted it to be in matching stainless, so it would match the stainless shelf, and I think our landed cost on this was $47, and I added a 45% margin to it or something like that, so I think we're selling it for 89 or 90 or something like that, and I didn't ask what it cost, said let's make it, and then we'll charge what needs to be charged, right? And then then people who want it will buy it, because it didn't exist before. So anyway, that's the idea. Let's see. Let me go back up here, see what I missed. Hey Matt, network problems at home or common to Comcast modem issue. Tons of people have it. Yeah. Or we don't get 1 gig. Will we see a 991.2 poster? Yes, we will. Hopefully after I get better wheels and get rid of that goofy green stripe. We can always just Photoshop the green stripe out. Do you know how I can mod my crock pot dinners? Let's get out of here. Let's see, got me on that one. So here's a common thing I get. So FND 1220 says, we develop starting point formulations for car care products. I could hook you up with your own formula if you want. That's precisely what I'm talking about, that I have zero interest in, which I could turn on tomorrow, right? I could probably make $1 million next year, in the next 12 months, if I came out with Obsessed Garage car care line and did, wheel cleaners and tire dressings and created a whole line of products. And I could easily make $1 million doing that. But it wouldn't be good. It'd just be a bunch of random recipe of generic crap. Because it would take me 2 years to develop every single product to where it would be even decent. And then how am I going to beat, Brake Buster with my wheel cleaner? Because I didn't buy Brake Buster because I tried a zillion wheel cleaners, and that one's the one I like the most. So and I get this all the time. The blenders are just like, hey man, you're gonna make your own line, but it wouldn't be the chances of, like, take Car Pro. They don't have like every product is great, and they've been working on it for 20 years or however long 25 years, however long Avi's been doing it, with a Korean blender. So, you like take Geon, take any of these product lines, and I might like one of them best. So how am I going to beat, first of all, how am I going to beat Geon in anything they do? And then secondly, how am I going to, go out and say that this is the best? Or that this is the best I've found. Now, this tire dressing is a little different. I didn't make it. It's been around a long time, and it's just no one really discovered it. And this is an amazing product. And so the amount of iterations that a blender would have to go through wouldn't be worth it to them, because I'd drive them freaking nuts. Like, no, I want this, I want that. Try this, try. It would be a massive undertaking that it just wouldn't make sense. So let's say I make a 75% margin coming out with my own product line. Or maybe 100% margin versus making 50, staying focused on what I'm doing. I don't know. I think that what I'm doing is a better way to do it. Mike Bear says, keep putting out great content. Thanks for everything. Yeah, thanks, man. This is kind of fun. I should do this more often. Let's see. Obsessed Garage energy drinks. OG Spec listening to the best of the best products instead of reinventing the wheel makes way more sense. Yeah, I think so too, Jim. I mean, that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about chasing things that exist, and then maybe working with a manufacturer who's an expert on that particular product or process, and then saying, what about this, what about that, and see if they make it. Like going to Krenzel and saying, hey, I want the K1622, but I want it to turn off, and I want more flow, less pressure. And they made it for me. And so that, to me, gets me out of bed in the morning. So anyway, which microfiber package do you recommend we use when the world runs out of toilet paper? Get out of here. Are you ever going to buy a Mercedes? Probably not. Those are such, in their current form, most of them are such wannabe cars. There's just always a better car that's similar, that is not a goofy grandpa automatic. So, maybe if they put a DCT in a car and take all of the functionality, let me over rev the thing and put a better rear end in it instead of just sliding around all over the place, I might be interested, but I don't know, just not a huge fan. Any thoughts on aftermarket backing plates on Rupa's polishers? Yeah, I do have some thoughts on that. I was all about it. I went to Esoteric, how many years ago, and they had the Kamikaze backing plates. And I'm like, oh, this is great. This is nice anodized aluminum, until I really started to think, well, do I want a piece of aluminum? I've had pads fail and explode on me. I want a piece of aluminum between my, paint and my polisher. I don't think so. I don't want that. And then I really started to think, well, the Rupa backing plate is pretty freaking awesome. So that's one of the things I don't think really needs to be modified. I've also found that the Mark III machines with their better torque profile, I don't even have mine washer modded. So I haven't even found the need to do that. And I was a big supporter of washer modding. Of course, Kevin Brown came up with that idea of spacing it off the backing plate, but the new machine needs as much cooling as possible, and going to Rupa's and learning why they're so adamant about doing it the way that they do it is that, it's for cooling. It creates a Venturi effect. That's the reason why it touches the shroud. And so I don't have any need. The Velcro is, or they call it hook and loop, the Velcro on the backing plates of the Rupa's pads, or the backing plates are great. So I haven't had a need to do it. Detail ID says, what Ferrari would you buy? I'd probably buy a 458 Speciale is what I would want. I'd have to get better at the pronunciation of that. But yeah, 458 is what I would want. If you're going to buy a C63, what year would you buy, and how would you OG spec it? I'd buy whatever the, what is it, the W214, whatever the V8 is that's super slow, but sounds amazing. Whatever year that was, what was that, 2000, when did the new version come out? Was it 2013 and before? So I'd want like that iteration, the previous generation, and a black. But again, this car's sliding around all over the place, and they have a freaking MCT, which is a fake dual clutch. So I don't like that. W204, thank you. Let's see. What's your thoughts on a BMW Z4 as a little fun car? I don't know. The Z4s have never really done it for me. Let's see. Buy a Ferrari 458. It's cheaper. It's 120K used. Yeah, maybe. Watch it from Portugal. Awesome. Glad to have you. Watch it from Ireland. Let's see. Videos are like therapy. Keep it up. Huge fan from Canada. Thanks, Eric. What ammo products do you like? They're decent. Hydrate was my favorite product, but Hydrate is some version of a spray wax, so it really doesn't work on a coating. At least I found it to be kind of smeary. It doesn't really work like that's why I made the transition to bead maker from using Hydrate, because although I was accused of making the transition to bead maker just because I couldn't sell Hydrate, I would have just kept using Hydrate and said, go buy it from Larry. I mean, what am I gonna make on a drying aid? Like, you know, $50,000 in profit or something? I mean, I don't even know if it's even that much. So I'd rather, my reputation is more important than that. So I think, you know, the Hydrate is my favorite product. But, you know, Larry has the product blended somewhere at Warner or B&B or something like that. And so I don't know where he has it blended, but he has very proprietary formulations, and you know, he has, I'm sure, ironclad agreements with whomever's blending his product for him, and you know, it's good stuff. And his process is a great process to follow. I'm beyond the need to follow one process or one product line. You know, again, it goes back to the same thing. You know, Larry's not infallible, neither is Adams, neither is any company, Griots, where they don't have the best product for every application. That's why I don't want to create my own product line, even though I think I could probably compete with any of them, because I've met Richard Griot, I've met Adam, and I'm freaking insane. Those guys are super charismatic and great salespeople and have built great teams and great organizations. I would have a little bit of a leg up in that I'm an engineer by background. I'd have a leg down because I'm not as charismatic. I'm telling you, when Larry walks in a room, there's just something special about that dude. He just has something like, it's same thing, Adam LZ, same thing, Cletus. I mean, I've met a lot of these people where they walk in a room and there's just something different about them. And I just look at them all as humans, but there's a special character that, Adam Patali has, that Richard Griot has, that I don't have. And so there's some real value in that, and that's what causes their brands to be so big and so powerful and so great. My way is very, very different than the path of some other people that have that charisma. It's why we have 200,000 subscribers, and I probably put out more content than anybody, because I just don't have that. But what I do have is an insatiable appetite to pursue things that, I'm telling you, I've met so many YouTubers and they don't really know anything. They just know how people work. I don't know how people work. I know how stuff works. And so if I walk around, SEMA with another YouTuber that's an expert, I'm the frickin' expert. But I'm walking around with them and everybody's coming to get an autograph from them, and I'm nobody. So if I was going to create a product line, it would be, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could handle it, because I wouldn't be able to compromise, and it would be a disaster. I'd be driving off a cliff. Anyway, just my thoughts. Matt, appreciate all the content, thanks. Any plans? I talked about the NSX earlier. Yeah, 200,000 subscribers. Subscribers doesn't really mean anything. I get freaking crappy amount of views, like an average video does, 12,000, 15,000 views. But I would argue that you that are watching this are so much more bought in than you're, or maybe so much more engaged and understanding of what I'm doing and creating. I'm sure there's quite a few that don't believe what I'm saying, but those people have a real character judgment flaw, because I was showing it all to you. I just freaking told you what I'm doing with this darn tire dressing. I guarantee you B&B is going to get 10 calls from goofballs saying, I want that before Obsessed Garage. It happens every time. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, I love the Sonic toolboxes. Where's the AMG? I just talked about how I don't like Mercedes. Can you measure how tall the drawers are in the S9? Yeah, they are the same as these, as the MSS. I'm assuming you're talking about the internal dimension. Yeah, they're 6 centimeters, or 2 3/4 deep. 2 3/4 deep. An inch. Oh shoot, it's 8 o'clock. I heard you said the wall air won't cut it for blowing out pads. It will. So the wall air is the little thinger I have over there. It will blow out pads, but it's really loud. It actually is about 6.5 CFM, so more than enough output to blow out pads, but it's like really loud and really high RPM. It's a tiny little pump. So you wouldn't want that for it. Again, it'll do it. It'll blow up tires, it'll blow out pads. It'll do actually more than like the little silent one will. It has 3 times the output, but it's just super loud and it doesn't shut off. It just runs constant. There's no tank, so it doesn't ever turn off. Let's see. Hey Matt, should I stick with ND wheels? Oh shoot, I don't know much about it. Bryce can answer that one. I don't know much about Miatas. Let's see, custom mechanical keyboard. He's asking, would I have ever considered that? I don't really like mechanical keyboards. Maybe I should get one, see if I could start to like it. Let's see. You should do these more often while we're in quarantine. I was thinking the same thing. All you guys are sitting at home on the couch looking for something to do. I've run out of stuff to watch. You can only watch the Tiger King one time. And so, which I was fascinated by. I'm such a contrarian. I hate watching anything that says #1 and everybody else is watching. I don't know why. But I do it anyway. So anyway, what do you think of the C8? The C8. I literally couldn't hate, now here comes the contrarian thing. I couldn't hate a car more than the C8. It just freaking sucks. Like, what is wrong with you people? The car sucks. It's hideous. They took a freaking Camaro rear end and put it on the back of this weird mid-engine thing and this goofy cock. Oh, it's just everything about it. The wheel gap is this big. The front end looks weird. Ugh, I hate that. Now the C8R, the race car looks pretty cool, but the C8, oh my gosh, I will go to my grave before I own one of those things. So you can come back and mark this in case I ever get one, because it becomes the best car on the planet. But it's just such lazy American bullcrap. It's just, you get what you pay for. Good luck with that, people. There's no frickin' way. I'd tell Mike 717 that right to his face and he would laugh. He wouldn't care. That car sucks. And everybody getting it is just, they're trying to be first. And so I don't need to be first. I'll be last. I'll be last and end first. How's that sound? So, gosh, that car is so butt ugly and people love it so much. And no one's buying a $60,000 version of it. They're putting like $30,000, so it's a $90,000 car that looks hideous, and it's just weird. It's just a weird looking car, and it's a freaking Corvette, so it's gonna rattle and squeak and break, and it's just, I don't care if it goes fast around whatever track. I love it how that's how people get me. right? So they post the drag times, and they post the whatever the stupid track time of the Z06 and how it's faster than a GT3. You think I give two craps about that? You think I'm that stupid? You know, first of all, I guarantee you, take two dudes off the street and give them a GT3 and give them a Corvette and have them go around the track. You know, the PDK, GT3 is going to annihilate. Now, if you get like perfect conditions and, you got a 650 horsepower car and a 500 horsepower car, you get the right guy behind the wheel, of course the Corvette's going to win. But who cares? The thing sucks. So this giveaway is going to go really famously well when I talk about how much that car sucks. I just get in it and I just hate it. God, I hate it. So the C8 I hate even more because it's uglier. At least the C7 has some douchey appeal to it. It's like this aggressive, it's like a culmination of douche design. Ugh, bleh, makes me gag. So, anyway. Who cares? I don't care how fast it is. I don't care how much horsepower it has, and that's what everybody cares about. On paper, who cares about paper? When I sit in the seat and I get behind the steering wheel, and none of that matters. It doesn't care how fast it goes. It's about experience, how it's put together, how your sight lines, what the steering wheel feels like, what it sounds like, all of that stuff. So there's lots of cool things about the Corvette. That's everything. I call that a 50-50 car. So for everything that's great, there's something that's equally bad. A GT3 or some other car, maybe an M3. For everything that's great, maybe like an M3, maybe like 30% is bad. But a Corvette is 50-50, maybe even 40-60. And so, I don't know, just good luck. Good luck with the frickin' C8. You're not gonna see one on mine. I'm gonna stick with my 200,000 subscribers and my 10,000 views and middle fingers in my pockets, but middle fingers are up to that piece of junk. So, anyway, I'm gonna make some enemies. Sorry to all of you who love it, which is the vast majority of you, but hey, yeah, you can't fault it. I'm honest as can be. So, oh boy. Freaking Corvette. Any chance of a C8 once the higher trims come along? Yeah, no. Zero. Let's say a 0.0001% chance of that ever happening. I learned my lesson. One Corvette and done. I'm done. We'll never do that again. I got to go get in that hunk of crap and drive it home. Trying to drive it, but seat just pokes in the junk. Stupid. Let's see, Matt, have you commented on how companies withholding their coatings to pros, that companies like Adams is coming for them? Have you tried Adams UV coating? I haven't. I almost promise I haven't tried it yet, but I pretty much guarantee that Adams isn't there yet. They're not going to beat these guys that have been doing it for 20 years. But like I've said again, they're coming. They're coming for them. They're going to make it easy to install. They're going to innovate. They have more money. They have more resources. They have a great CEO. They have an amazing marketer in Adam. They have an amazing staff of people. They have a destination. They have a cult following. They're coming. They're coming for all of my buddies, at all these companies making these great coatings. And so the pro only model, just watch it. Mark my words on this. It's going to come back to bite them. We should go pro only on polishes and polishers, not on coatings, because the coating's freaking simple to do. So bag the whole idea that you have this pro only product that some magician has to install, which is bullcrap. Once the general consumer, you and I know that, but the general consumer doesn't know that. They think Xylon is a good thing to get on their car at the dealership. They don't know. And so, I think Adam's coming, but I trust my gut. I'm not going to put that on my car. I guarantee you they're just not there yet. They're there for the average DIY guy on the weekend, but they're not there. They're not going to beat G-Technic at their game, not yet, but they probably will. And then griots will have to copy, and chemical guys will have to copy, and that'll be the end of the pro-only coating model, and they'll have to figure something else out, and have to figure out they'll likely have to take a little bit of a reputational hit to that because they've been selling this pro-only stuff for so long. But if I was a detailer, I would want I would want to let goofs like me and Pan and other people market it for you. So let me sell CSU Crystal Serum Ultra to everybody and let everybody know it's a great coating to get, and then 90% of you aren't going to do it yourself anyway. You're going to go hire somebody, but you're going to go ask for what the goofs on YouTube are talking about, or marketers in general are talking about. So it just seems like such a layup to me that you open up your coating to the world and watch it take off. So anyway, Matt, honest question, what are your thoughts on putting shoe shine on your tires as tire dressing? It sounds stupid, but I've been thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know how that will hold up to sun and stuff like that. I'm sure you could find something that works. Any plans to get the swivel bracket for the Cox reel in OG blue? I know they have a black one. I just don't like the swivel bracket, but maybe I should get a hold of one. There's so much, unless you have a block wall, it's really hard to do. You have to build a platform. I don't know. I just don't like it swiveling. I like it flat on the wall, and I'll just walk around and pull it off. But kind of goes counter to what I normally talk about, considering I'm always wanting to make things quick disconnected and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I need to play with it more. What do you think about the Porsche Taycan, or whatever you pronounce it? Yeah, it's cool. It's freaking ugly though. Just like the, I wish it'd just make a sedan, like an M5. Just make it look good. Just Porsche, please, dear, for the love of God. If you make a sedan, I'll buy every one that comes out. Not that stupid, goofy looking fastback thing that they keep doing. I hate that. It makes it such a limited thing. The Panamera is such a freaking ugly car. But it's amazing to drive, and the interior is fantastic. It's, put together, it's fast as crap, handles well. Just make a sedan that like people that like the look of cars will actually buy, instead of some rich soccer mom getting it. Is that too much to ask? I mean, the Cayenne looks great. Why don't you make the Taycan and the frickin' the Panamera? Why don't you make a darn four-door sedan with a trunk and like a normal look to it? Anyway, man, have you been driving the M5? Yes, I have. God, it's legit. I don't want to give the darn thing away. Let's see. I think I'm about out of gas here. I have a Sunjo SPX 3000. It's frustrating rinsing off multiple crew cab trucks with it. You'd think I'd be satisfied with 1122 or 1322. If you're doing a crew cab truck, if you're doing like it for a business and you're doing it all the time, you might want something more robust. We'll get you like a 599 TSTG or something like that, like a big one that has like 2.5 or 3 gallons a minute. Yeah, I mean, 1322, 1122 will do the job if it's your trucks. But if you're doing a fleet of trucks, no, we want to go stout. We want to go 3.5, 4 gallons a minute. You might even want to do hot water or warm water. You might want to do that. Sedans are for people over 40. Sedans, it could be like, look at an S3. An S3 is a sedan. That thing's freaking sick. A Golf R is a sedan, a hatch sedan, but it goes against my whole theory here. But a WRX is a sedan. An M3 is a sedan. Just way better. But we don't need a coupe in a Porsche because they've got all those with the the mid-engine, rear-engine cars. Supercharger M3, yeah, maybe. Can you do audio install on a JDM? That would be a cool project. Yeah, I'm kind of done with JDM, I think. What about Rolls Royce? No. Unless I get to the point where I'm so crazy that I can't drive anymore and I have to have somebody drive me around. We talked about that. Sell all the cars, get a Rolls Royce Phantom. Chris will be my driver and just drive me around everywhere. That would be kind of cool. Let's see. What is Michelle's daily driver? Yeah, it's the Gen 1 Raptor. That's Michelle's daily driver. Let's see. How's the other side of OGHQ looking? Oh, it's looking good. The other side of HQ, I put in like a frickin' zillion shelves over there. Go watch the vlog from today that I put up. I put up an Inside the Hex video on the main channel to convince some people to come and sign up, and because I think Inside the Hex is cool. The shelving's looking awesome. We'll put the shelving here. I've got the scaffolding here to put up the hose lines, hose reels. I figure in about a month we'll have this place in really good shape. It'll be looking really legit. Anxiety levels are actually pretty good. I mean, we haven't seen a roll off or sell off of or a drop off in sales. I'm just so darn focused. I'm enjoying it so much that I'm not traveling. I'm just here. I'm just here doing something every day. The amount of stuff that we get done as a team, as a business every day is just incredible. Just look at all these things that come that I'm developing, and new air compressors and toolboxes and bottles check out the renders on Instagram of the giveaway of the car, finishing cars, the FIAC stuff. It's just freaking awesome. I'm so pumped, man. Unless the world ends, Maddie's gonna come out of this darn okay. And obviously we don't want to get sick. You got to stay healthy. So I'm been laser focused on that as well. So yeah, it's been freaking awesome. Anxiety levels have been under control. Are you gonna do another wash and talk video? I was planning on doing it tonight. Let's go do one of the M3, but maybe I'll do it tomorrow night. Not an M3, the Corvette, the Z06. I was gonna do a wash. I have the camera all set up at home. But yeah, wash and talk coming. Let's see. Yeah, knock on wood, Sean. I'm telling you, I'm scared as crap, but I'm not anxious about it. Is the forklift going to get dialed in? Yeah, I need to do that. That would be cool. Ballpark Pricing, the new FIAC air compressor, the big one. It's called a Silver 3. It's a roughly 15 CFM at 90 PSI rotary screw compressor with an oil heater. So right now that oil heater is keeping the oil up to temp because I use it once a week or so, or maybe twice a week, or maybe once a month, just depending on what we're doing with it. And a rotary screw would normally rust out. You'd get oil in the water and it becomes a problem. So you have to run rotary screws all the time. And so this one you don't have to worry about. I am absolutely positively in love with it. It's like 59 decibels versus 95 on a Jenny piston. It doesn't have as much output as a Jenny, but I think it's gonna be, it's a little less than $5,000, but he's working on the pricing for me. So I should have the pricing back on that. The little guys are like $1,500, $1,600 bucks, so you guys are gonna freak out about that. But if you want an amazing little silent compressor, that's just what they cost. So video on the WRX, yeah, we have to do the WRX needs a maintenance. It's been a while since we did that, so I need to dial that thing in. What happened to the garage maker giveaway? I talked about the garage makeover. We'll be doing that in July. I talked about that earlier. Let's see. I think we should let Matt go home. What are your opinions of the RS5? I love the look of Audis and I always get suckered into them, but they freaking suck to drive. It's so bad. The understeer is so bad. But dang, they look good. I like the R8 a lot. I like the RS6 Avant. I think that's freaking sick. That would be awesome to do a crazy stereo in that thing. I don't know if Adam's announced this, but Adam's RS6 will be here soon. Can you send some gear wrench and Snap-on stuff to determine, change your mind on Snap-on? I like Snap-on tools, just their toolboxes are junk. I don't know what you guys are freaking talking about. You just pay like $10,000 for this garbage Chinese-made thing with some shiny metal on it. Ugh, good luck with that. But their tools are great. I just wish they weren't sold at a tool truck, so I don't have to pay two layers of markup on it. You got multiple layers of markup on a product that just can be supplemented. Again, I'm all for charging an appropriate margin, but just look at Mac Tools. Mac Tools had tool grid, so they had 2 layers of markup on the tool grid stuff. So it was like, I have pretty crazy margins on it. I have to import it, so the margins actually got hit pretty heavily. But tool grid is an example of something like Mac Tools. You'd pay like 2.5 times what I'm charging for it, and I'm asking regular retail. So that truck model is so goofy. I don't need some truck guy coming to sell me crap. Just make the product and spend all your money on marketing and make it available at some retail locations. So that's the problem I have with. No, I think Tang tools are junk. I don't like those. Tecton, that's why I thought Tecton and Tang are the same, but I think Tecton's better, but what do I know? How's Florida tax? We don't have a state income tax, so just sales tax. V10 E60 M5. I never really liked that car very much. It's funny how that car has become so popular. No one wanted it back when it was new, like nobody. What are your thoughts on the Lexus GSF? Yeah, Lexuses, they sound pretty good, but I don't know. It's just they don't do anything super well. Everybody keeps telling me that the Supra. I would probably really like the Supra, the new one. I don't, but I don't have any plan to do it. Anyway, I'll answer a couple more and we'll get out of here. I know you can order Snap-on online, but you're paying the same thing you paid the truck. So you still have 2 layers of markup. So, I don't know. I don't like that. Let's see, we need to see a garage with lawnmowers, shovels, trash cans get dialed in. Yeah, that is on the list. I want to go do like a regular garage. And somehow I want to like extreme makeover, show up and change their life kind of thing. I think that would be sick. Yeah, when we produce our TV show, we'll do that. Thoughts on Griot's Garage 3-in-1 ceramic wax? That's freaking stupid. Pump that in the trash. There's no reason for that to exist. I'm sure it's garbage. I don't even need to try it. Let's see, knock on wood. What YouTube channels do you enjoy watching? What YouTube channels do you enjoy watching? MKBHD, Adam LZ. These are the channels I watch the most. Let me pull it up here. Nick Bear Performance Nutrition. He's super motivating. Sam the Cooking Guy, that's my new favorite channel. Vinwicki, Team Richie, which is a CrossFit channel. Bro Science Life, Tavarish, TJ Hunt. Cars with Luke, that's a good GT car channel, although I've lost a little faith in him in that he got a GT4, but he's doing some wonky crap with it. Jonathan Morrison, Cletus McFarland, Doug DeMiro, The Rag Company, Shmee, Bradley Martin, Presidential has a YouTube channel now. Let's see, Vortex Radar, iJustine, White Details, Auto Fanatic, of course, JRE, Joe Rogan. Let's see, Motion Auto TV. Let's see, Dustin Williams. I like Dustin a lot. I don't know, he seems like a good dude. Certainly driven. Will Smith, Jay Leno. I don't ever watch most of these though. Casey Neistat, Matt Reisinger is a good build, the home building channel. Gary V, MONYC, Glenn's Car Collection, Tommy F. Yeah, Tommy's a good friend of mine. Taylor Ray is a friend of ours, Adam's friend. Troy, Torch Choice Hours, Jimbo's Detailing, Will Motivation, Auto Fetish, LHT. Let's see, Engineering Explained, Savage, Savage, best car review channel on the planet. Rad Garage, Rick's Audi Double, Joe Knows Best, Forensic Detailing, Shifted Perspective, that's Brandon's channel. Keys Motorsports is an awesome BMW channel, doing some very similar stuff to me. Let's see, Normal Guy Supercar, Dan the Organizer, Guitarmageddon ZR1 or ZL1 or whatever the heck let's see, that gets you that P-Car Talk, That Dude in Blue, Nick Murray. So those are all channels I'm subscribed to. InChain Designs. So, I know if anybody cares about that. Anything else on top there? Street Speed 717. Evolve Automotive. Evolve channel is actually really an underrated channel. The Evolve stuff for BMW. Yeah, I don't know, Dustin, something about it. I just feel like he's, I think he's legit. I don't know. Stay in your lane, Matt. Do a good job. Yeah, I'm trying. That's why I'm just gonna stay here and play with crap. JP Details. I hate that. Clickbait bull crap. But I've watched a couple of the videos, but the darn title it's just I can't do it. You'd think I'd hate, Mike. See, that's what I don't care that Street Speed does clickbait because he's straight up about it. Yeah, so I think that's about all I got. Dallas Paint Correction. Yeah, I don't watch that. Let's see. Rad Garage is Rick's Audi Double. You'll like his channel. Rick hasn't done a ton of content, but he's been around forever. He'll have, if he commits to it, his channel will do really well. He'll have 100,000 subscribers in no time. Rick is he's a tinkerer like we are, and he's got a really dialed in oversized two-car garage where he does a lot in it. And you can tell that he's super focused on keeping it clean and tidy and loves going in there and doing stuff. I think what he'll find is if he chases it harder, I think he'll do really well at it. And I think he'll find also that it's a lot of the tinkering, you lose a little bit of that once you have the camera and have to deal with it every time you're working on stuff. It's an interesting transition, especially because I'm sure Rick has a good job, I'm sure, and I bet you if he focused, I bet you he wouldn't be working that job for very long. The same thing with Pan. Pan still has a job, and he says he'll never quit, but I don't believe him. I think at some point he's going to have to if he wants to. It just would make sense. What do you think of the F87 M2 competition? I freaking hate it. I hate it as much as the C8. I love the M2. Just take the competition off of it and punt that in the freaking trash because BMW ruined the car with the stupid S55 and the diaper. It's got a freaking loaded diaper hanging off the back of the car. It looks stupid. So you take the M2, which is a great car, and you put the fart machine in the thing. And I don't care if it's faster and whatever. But gosh, I actually wanted to order an M2. I wanted to order an M2 when I got the M5. I forget what I was going to do, but I wanted to get an M2. And I want to love to get an M2 competition, order it in an individual color like Ferrari red or something sick. And then they came out with the competition fart machine and ruined the whole darn thing. So, yeah, that's what I think about that. Best foam cannon for a 1700 PSI, 1.4 GPM, MTM PF22 with a 1.1 millimeter nozzle on it. Let's see. Let's see. Can you do an updated dream home garage design video? I know that. I don't know what he's asking there. Remove polish, wax, staining on exterior black trim. Remove it. Oh, you got to remove it. So get like a toothbrush, like a reasonably stiff bristle brush, and get the Meguiar's M39 from my store, and the number 39 stuff, the heavy duty vinyl and rubber cleaner, and use the brush, and that should clean it up. Because the solution finish won't get rid of it. Check out Matt from Off the Ranch. I've seen some of his stuff, but I never really got into it. Let's see. Will you sell tool grid pre-cut for the Sonic boxes? Yes, that's the plan. Let's see. CSI, ceramics, polish. Any plans in the future to try it? I think I still have it over here. It's in the closet somewhere. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, I gotta give it a whirl at some point. That Autofesh's stuff that he promotes is the polish. Hey, Obsessed Garage, what do you think of Whistling Diesel? I've watched what he does to his vehicles. I've never seen that before. What do you think of the XPEL window tint? XPEL's good. It's not great. Lumar's great. Formula One is great. The only thing I've noticed with the XPEL tint is off axis. So let's say I look out the passenger side, there's not as much clarity. There's a little bit of distortion that I don't get with Lumar films. But other than that, it's pretty good. It's acceptable. It's better than SunTech. It's better than 3M Color Stable. But I still, if you can get your guy to do Lumar, then you'll do it. Martin's my guy, so I'm gonna have to just deal with the XPEL stuff. It's good enough. What do you think of Geon quartz coatings and their products? I like Geon a lot. The branding's great, the packaging's great, a lot of the products are great. What I don't like about Geon is they have 9 coatings or 11 coatings. Just pick one. Give me one. Give me your best shot. So I'm not really interested in it because of that. There's too many freaking options. I don't want that. There's no reason for that. All right, I think I'm gonna shut her down. I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, wax mode, yeah. Yeah, Kyle's cool. I need to get him up here. What do you think of graphene's coatings? Not sure if you've addressed this in the future. So graphene, I actually talked to Ivan about this, Ivan LaCroix about this quite a bit. You know, graphene has some potential. So graphene is not as susceptible to water spotting as silicon dioxide or titanium dioxide or magnesium carbide. Actually, magnesium carbide is the Optimum's version. Not very water prone, water spot prone, but it's quite a bit softer. So, you know, it may or may not be a great thing, but it's not there yet. I don't even need to try it yet to know that. People are just looking for new stuff, but let's see. Come on, Matt, you're subscribed to Ariana Grande, right? Does she have a YouTube channel? Oh boy, that's funny. All right, I think that's about it, people. Unless you got some pressing question here. Would you ever buy a 993 Turbo? No, I like the NA Porsche. I like NA Porsches better, much more engaging to me. Again, I'm not a big horsepower guy. I'm an experienced guy, so I don't think I'd ever do. Come back to PA and do an event in your old stomping grounds at KOP. Yeah, I'd like that. I need to come back and visit Villanova. Matt, will you do more streams like this in the future? Yeah, if you guys like it. How many people are 300 people watching? I'm sure we'll get 4,000 or 5,000 people watch it after the fact. Yeah, maybe. What do you think of the 2020 GT3? I think it'll probably be great. I'd love to get it. Let's see. What is the oldest car you would buy? I don't know. Westchester University. That's where my best friend Charles went. GT4 build video, yes, there will be. How the prior hose bibs been selling? I don't know. I have to ask my dad. Probably pretty well. I don't expect them to launch the prior hose bibs and just sell out, because that's like a catch people in motion. I mean, that's something that I need to have so you can get it when you need it. But not everybody's going to go out and yank out all their hose bibs right away. So let's see, next live, I don't know. Whenever I have something to do, I'll probably do something soon. But I like this concept. I like this idea. I'm gonna go back and watch it to see how's the audio. Maybe I better do a lav mic instead. Anyway, thank you. Have you considered GT500? Yes, I have. The GT500 looks pretty sick. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna clean up my mess over here. Wow, it's a huge mess. And turn some music on, wrap up tonight. Thanks for coming. And I'm going to build this on, I think, tomorrow off camera. But maybe I'll do some more of this stuff when I'm messing around the garage, answer some questions, set up, and do this stuff. So anyway, thanks everybody. Appreciate you guys who did some super chat stuff, and thanks for not laughing me off the camera when I'm fumbling through this. We'll see you soon.